Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name's VinPF, and on today's episode, I've got a non-whiskey. It's a rum. Now, I should preface this review saying that I am not a rum guy in any way, shape or form. In fact, if you want kind of concise rum information, I'd go and check out my buddy and relatively new channel, New World Rum Club. They're making excellent videos, and not just about collectibles, but also some tasting stuff as well. Now, I got sent this from Heroes and Heretics, so thank you very much to them for sending that over to me, hence the reason why you've seen paid promotion somewhere over the top here, and that is simply just because they sent me the bottle, and it wasn't even necessarily for a review, even though I will review the bottle when I got round to it. They sent me this sometime earlier this year, and I've been sitting on this because, as I said earlier, I'm not particularly a rum guy, although I've enjoyed quite a few rums in the past. This one here is a completely new entity to me, this kind of like extra aged, super premium rum. And it really opened my eyes, so I've been kind of like going behind the scenes and trying rums at kind of any festivals I managed to get to, or even samples that came my way. I've spoken to a lot of friends who've sent me some rums to try, so that I know where this fits in within the rum world. But obviously mostly a whiskey guy. I'm not going to be doing hella rum reviews coming up, but when I get sent an awesome rum like this, it's got to be brought to you guys, and it's actually a good time for it to be showing up on the channel because they're actually almost out of this. There was only 370 bottles available, and there's something like 13 available on their website now. This sells for about £90, and it's a 50.9% ABV rum. It's a single cask rum, and it's a Belizean rum as well. So it's a Caribbean, but kind of mainland Belize, and it's from the Traveller's Liquors Distillery in Belize. There you go. So Heroes and Heretics bottling this independently. It's their only rum at the moment. They're going to be replacing this with a new Darkwood going forward when this one sells out. So if you're interested in getting hold of this now, make sure you go and check them out and see if you want to grab this thing. Now, for those who don't know much about rum, I'm not going to go into it in too much detail because I don't know that much about rum either. What I can tell you is, on a very generic level, it's usually distilled in a similar way to whiskey is, but instead of grain being the base ingredient, we're talking about kind of sugarcane or molasses. In this case, it's molasses. It is double distilled, and then it's aged in a charred oak cask for those 13 years that we talked about, and that's quite exceptional. I think the entire term has been in the tropics, because I know sometimes you can get barrels that have spent some time in the tropics and then have been brought over to European shores to be aged a bit further. Obviously, the climate over there is going to affect that wood a bit differently, and the liquid inside it a bit differently. And that's enough wittering about this. Let's see what we think about this actual rum. Very nearly said whiskey on the tip of my tongue there, but of course a rum today. Really beautiful colour on this one. It's really dark colour. Let's go onto the nose and see what we've got. Now, for me, some obvious stuff out of the way. It is obviously very sweet, quite coconutty, and then for me on top of that, it's like a kind of salty treacle almost. It's got that really kind of heavy treacly notes to it, and for me, there's a kind of back end of some menthol notes going on with some leathery, tobacco-y kind of tannic notes as well. Overall, a really nice deep nose. Let's try on the palate. Oh, it's so thick and viscous. It's almost like the treacle notes that I'm getting on the nose. They're back again on the palate, followed quickly by some sweeter, kind of golden syrupy things, mixed in with kind of some menthol, aniseedy notes on the back end. And again, very tannic, very oaky. Definitely not over oaked, but there's a whole mixture of kind of sweet and sour going on with all those different notes. The finish is huge. Strangely, it's like, usually when I'm talking about whiskey, I talk about kind of a spicy pepperiness, and I'm not really getting that on here. It's very sweet to start with. Sweetness disappears, and it ends in quite a drying, sour note on the back end, which, again, I say every time I say this tasting note, it isn't a negative. It's just something that makes me want to drink another sip of it, which I'm going to right now. Now, as I mentioned at the top of the show, coming at this from a very, very whiskey aficionado, fan, whatever you want to call me, perspective, this is a really nice rum. I haven't tried a whole heap of rums in the past, but for the ones I have tried, this one is easily up there in some of the best rums that I have tried. And I think if you're into rums as a whiskey fan, then this is definitely one you want to jump on. If you're a rum fan and whiskey is a secondary thing, I genuinely couldn't tell you where this fits in with the rest of the rums in the world, only by what I've tried. But from my perspective, I think it's a pretty decent drop and definitely worth at least checking out.